The Uncharted movie ending suggested there was more to come, setting up a potential franchise based on the hit game series. The globe-trotting action-adventure caper sees Holland's Nathan Drake team up with Sully, Mark Wahlberg, to find his brother, the lost Magellan treasure, and his own identity along the way. Throw in some petty theft, a victimless crime when the Mark is a spoiled brat in this universe, apparently, a missing brother, and a horde of obsessive treasure hunters, and it's a recipe for intrigue. But is there subtext and symbolism in there? Uncharted eschewed many modern blockbuster tropes, such as deconstructing villains or endless thematic gloom, to make something that lands somewhere between the Goonies and the Da Vinci Code. The approach made for a family-appropriate action movie, while also nailing some of what makes the Uncharted games so beloved. Even for a relatively straightforward story, however, Uncharted does have depth. It explores weighty moral concepts such as greed and loyalty in an accessible, entertaining package. Tom Holland's first post-Spider-Man action movie is packed with Uncharted Easter eggs too, along with impressive action set pieces, all tied up with a sequel-teasing finale. Here's the Uncharted ending explained. Is Uncharted's treasure lost forever? Someone could still retrieve the Magellan treasure. Uncharted movie pirate ships Nathan Drake. Despite the entire Uncharted plot centering on Sully's obsessive yearning for the lost Magellan treasure, nobody walks away with it by the time the Uncharted ending rolls around. Braddock, Tati Gabrielle, plans to extract the treasure by airlifting Magellan's ships, but both end up smashed to pieces with the treasure sinking. The Magellan's ships are good 500 years old, but they survive most of the journey, until they fall foul of both each other and a cliff face. Mark Wahlberg's Sully confirms the treasure of one ship, which is still retrievable, belongs to the Philippine government, while one of the Magellan ships is destroyed in such a way that makes salvaging the treasure possible. The other wreckage spills its cargo in a less easily retrievable fashion. There's every possibility some of the treasure could still be reclaimed. Perhaps that could be how the luckless Chloe Fraser spends her time after Nate's betrayal of her. There would certainly be millions scattered around the difficult-to-navigate areas of the ocean outside the cave, even if Sully seems to write them off immediately. Uncharted throws in a surprising amount of moralizing on greed when it comes to its treasure, and the motives of the treasure hunters seeking it. Nathan Drake is introduced as a grifter, using his bar job to rob wealthy young Marks to pay for his studio apartment, a shady past Sully uses as leverage to employ Nate, who never expresses anything like guilt. The corrupt desire of Antonio Banderas' Santiago Moncada, and the unending greed for plundering that drives Braddock, Fraser, and Sully, is a stark contrast. Because each of them is willing to kill, betray, or steal from anyone to get their riches, they're clearly morally different from Nate, whose grifting and treasure lust are mostly necessitated by economic circumstances. How Sam is alive, and where he's locked up. Sully may have the answers. Uncharted ending explained how Sam survived. The Uncharted movie ending also reveals a surprise involving Sam, Nathan Drake's brother. After letting Nate believe that Sam is merely missing, Sully tells him his brother was actually shot and killed by Braddock, with his posthumous help with the clues to the treasure, his last legacy. Ultimately, the first Uncharted credit scene reveals that a bearded Sam is alive and trapped in a gloomy prison cell, still trying to get messages out to Tom Holland's Nate. If the Uncharted movies are following from the games, the answer to how Sam survived comes from Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, in which it is revealed Sam's assumed death never happened, and he was merely imprisoned after a mission went wrong. Nate, who was on the mission, believed him to be dead and left him, only to be reunited later when Sam is bailed. It seems likely that the same is true in the Uncharted movie. Either Sully's assumption is false, or Sully is more involved in Sam's imprisonment than it seems. What Sam's warning to Nate means. Sam postcard Uncharted post-credit scene Nathan Drake. It's revealed in the Uncharted movie ending credit scene that Sam still has warnings for Nathan, as he is shown writing a message to his brother to watch his back. Sam's messages to that point were vague, but that expression suggests betrayal, implying some distrust of Sully or his associates. While Nate and Sully appear to be allies for the time being, their relationship is based on mutual distrust at times in Uncharted, and it wouldn't be illogical for the sequel to pull on those threads again. Either Sully's Uncharted backstory reveals that Sam believes he set him up to be imprisoned, or their story is completely fabricated and Sam is imprisoned intentionally as he was during the story leading up to his supposed death in the games. Nathan is already in a world of cutthroats and backstabbers, and Sam's advice generally is appropriate, but it certainly seems to point to a further revelation about his past with Mark Wahlberg's Sully. Uncharted sequel story, who Gage and Roman are. The Uncharted 2 villains may have been revealed. Uncharted post-credit scene deal Nazi map ring. The second Uncharted movie end credit scene introduces another new character in the form of a bearded villain named Gage, played by Pilu Asbeek, known for playing Euron Greyjoy, the memorable villain on Game of Thrones. Though Gage may not be a game character, but his boss, Roman, is. In Uncharted, Drake's fortune, Nate and Sully attempt to locate Sir Francis Drake's coffin, revealed in the movie to be their ancestor, which would lead them to the lost city of El Dorado. Gabriel Roman, a British crime lord with a penchant for antiques and lost treasures, was also on the same trail and became the main antagonist. Fans can expect to see him show up if the franchise does indeed continue, even if an actor has not been cast in Uncharted 2 yet. What's next for Chloe Fraser? Introducing Elena may make Chloe's story difficult to continue. Sophia Ali smiling as Chloe Fraser. Uncharted. The Uncharted movie ending leaves questions about Chloe Fraser's return. It seems unlikely that Sophia Ali's Chloe Fraser will simply allow Nathan and Sully to get away with tricking her out of the Magellan treasure. If they end up on the trail of Francis Drake's coffin and El Dorado, it would make sense that Chloe will turn up again to hunt the treasure alongside them. There were also strong hints throughout Uncharted that Nathan does have feelings for her, even with the betrayal. The potential wrinkle in developing a romance arc, however, is that Drake's fortune introduced Elena Fisher, a photojournalist who would go on to become Nate's wife in the game series. If Elena appears in Uncharted 2, it's possible Chloe will not return if the Uncharted sequel plans to adapt that particular game.